teacher. He's of course a teacher, a social science teacher, and he's been a teacher facilitator in a DOE school in Delhi, and was also part of the Learning Manager program, and he was part of the first pilot program. So I know that all of us had a lot of questions about the role of the teacher facilitator, and how it actually happened here, how can we learn from that, and see in the context of Sikkim how the role can be actualized.
So basically I would like to start with, I believe that all of you who are present here is working in the public school, or say the government school, which we generally in India we private school is known as public school and the public school as government school. It's a great confusion. So I feel that when we work in this school we face a lot of challenges, and from SCERT in the states we have the provision of a kind of training, but at least here in Delhi I witnessed that that training was not so useful, which could address our needs. But now in last couple of years there's a great change, and coincidentally I found that what has been imagined in most of the documents prepared by NCERT and with other institutions, even the different educational policies documents also emphasis on that the only effective teacher training program is the one which is operated from within the boundary of the school. That has been imagined as something very ideal, but that was not taking place. With this learning manager program, which got started in Delhi for around now last 1.5 years, this was something which took place for the first time, that a school was imagined as a place for learning, not only for the students but for the teachers as well. And that was revolutionary, I say, because it was in two senses. One, that it is connecting with what has been imagined there in the policy documents, and on the other hand that most often we see as a teachers the kind of responsibility which we have, it becomes difficult for us to go and seek support from the institution which is working outside the school. It becomes difficult on a regular basis. There are several centers. I was the part of one of the research program that was actually mapping teacher resource center available across the country, and we found that there are some good number of teacher resource center. They are very functional also, but the problem is that these were the teacher resource centers, but the teachers were not coming there. They have all equipments, materials and everything, but the problem was the teachers were not coming. And they also shared with us that we are not functional in the sense that the teachers are making use of it, because it's not accessible for the teachers. So the conclusion is that a teacher training program to enable the teachers will only be very successful when it is situated within the boundary of the school. So this is how this teacher facilitator program, I think, is imagined. Now for around last 1.5 years, which as a teacher facilitator I have worked in my own school, it's really from a regular teaching, generally we teach, we have interaction with our colleagues and our students. Suddenly if you are given the role of a teacher facilitator, that you need to enable your colleagues also, your senior colleagues also, it is really a challenge. In a couple of months you yourself won't believe that what you are doing, right? The problem of the acceptability comes, that how your own friends will believe that you are going to enable them, you are going to facilitate them, you are going to create an environment to learn. So this is something very new in the country, so it's really challenging. But since it's very good things to do, a teacher facilitator, as I have seen, as I have worked, it's not like that someone in the school is extraordinary and knows everything, is a subject expert. It's not like that. Basically my work, or a teacher facilitator work, is to create that environment. You need to put the people together, have some a meaningful conversation. Even we have conversation when there is no teacher facilitator, but it would be more formal, where we have certain goals, we talk about certain things which is related to our day-to-day life in the school, the challenges which we face. The couple of questions which generally comes, that how to deal with the teachers who are seniors. Suppose some of you may be in the school for a couple of years and somebody is there in the 20 years. So how can you ask them to sit and discuss something? So I would say the example that how I did that. So basically in my school I was doing it with the subject wise groups, right. So I'm a social science teacher, I did it with a math teacher, I did it with the English teacher, with science teacher, and definitely there were teachers who have been teaching there for 20 years and more. So basically my work was to organize that this is the time when we will sit together, and then I asked one of the teacher who have been teaching there for many years, who is a very senior teacher, that here the rest of the teacher is, I asked that senior teacher, the rest of the teacher is to listen you, that how you have been ensuring such a good result, what the techniques you have been using. So this was a kind of first time a formal platform available for that senior teacher also, that to share that how she is doing and how she is being given value. Otherwise, there were no such platform available within the school. So as a teacher facilitator, my role was just to organize that. I was there, but now one of the teachers from the same group was leading that. I was obviously not the subject expert, right. So that is also creating value for other teachers. So I faced personally that there's no any such challenge of being senior or junior kind of things. Basically it's creating a formal platform where you create value for others. What I feel that for the teacher facilitator, there are certain notions which we hold, and as a teacher facilitator we need to discontinue with that notions. Like for example, generally here in Delhi's school we hear from our colleagues that all the children cannot learn, right. They come from certain backgrounds, so we cannot do anything about them. So there you need to differentiate. You cannot say yes, aap bilkul sahi keh rahe ho, I mean the same thing is there, we cannot do this, then the things would not work. The idea is that at least there is one person in the school who is now presenting the alternate views, which is generally missing from most of the schools. So as a teacher facilitator, once you are there, most often you will have to come with the alternate views. That's fine, what you are thinking is okay, but these are also the views which is available. We need to think about this. We need to work on this, at least we should try for this. Otherwise, most often what happens, somebody says, no, ye to bahut nalaik ladka hai, and we all say, yes, bilkul sahi keh rahe ho tum, you are absolutely right. But as a teacher facilitator, you will have to choose this discomfort that no, there is still possibility we can work upon. So through my experiences of such work, what I think when it works actually, the most important work of the teacher facilitator is to create that belief among the teachers that they can perform. Learning is their need as well, and it basically lead to a more conducive environment where we all learn actually. So creating that learning environment is more crucial inside the school, and there your role comes basically, and that comes through many ways. It's not just that a formal session is going on where 5 or 10 teachers are sitting there. It's not in that way only. When you are inside the school, you are imagining an institution and you are working throughout the day in the school, even after the school for that. Like in most of the schools nowadays, we have dedicated WhatsApp groups, right, for example, and there we do a lot of things like sharing of relevant content which you read somewhere, which you got from somewhere with the teachers, that if suppose a teacher is facing some challenges in mathematics class and you got some interesting article and you are not getting time to have one-to-one discussions, so you can share it, you can encourage the teachers to read that. So in many ways you can help the teachers. Also, since the teacher facilitator is always available within the school, he or she is not someone coming from outside, coming occasionally. So you have the facility to interact informally also. It's not always formally that just outside the classroom or walking around you are having a discussion. So it's it takes the time, but all the time you are trying to create an environment which ultimately leads to actually a better performance inside the classroom and overall a better learning environment inside the school.